Okay, everybody. Anyway, practicing punching. So how we do? First thing is very important thing to learn to how we do make a fist properly. A lot of people says, "Oh, I know how to do fist. I can do punching." A lot of people don't do your punching properly, make a fist properly. Actually, you can hurt your wrist, or it can hurt your knuckles, or it can hurt your thumb. So basic sample thing, kids or parents, you want to practice, pay attention to this one. So you make your forefinger curls it like this, and you put in thumb, lock it straight, and make sure everything you do on a punching, make sure turning your fist tight. Always keep your fist tight. Make sure your wrist locks in. And otherwise, hand chamber. Every time you punch, so if his fist is halfway open, every time you hit something, punching bag or practicing, guess what? Your wrist gonna go like this, or wrist turns like that. It can get very hurt, damage your wrist. That take you for a while to heal up back again. So that's very important to make sure how you punch. And the second thing is, so how we will practice? Well, keep your hand chamber, keep standing one side straight, and straight punch like that. It is so important. Make sure punch center of you. Okay, is another thing. So how we should be punching properly. So what it does, every time you're striking a punch, you punch straight. Set your body just for practicing the punching. So hand chamber is straight, example. You go straight out, just touching knuckles. Every time you punch, and make sure these two knuckle goes your fist tight, your wrist. It's very important. You can put one hand straight and straight come up, touch. Doesn't matter as a makawari. You're not supposed to be doing touching makawari, just for practicing center. Center is very important. Or as a punching bag is a similar. Same like you want to punch the bag, stay straight, pull. Straight, pull. That way very important part for punching. So every time you practice punch, make sure straight line up, that two knuckle. Every time you hit, that two knuckle goes right in there. Because every time you strike a punch, if you properly with two knuckles, that's how your properly punch goes. Another thing is beginning to how we practice in extra free times. So in a karate training, now this is a thing called discipline. So how we discipline the mind. So basically we practice our punches, then we practice, first thing very important to practice, use stances. In a karate, you work a couple ways, stances, okay? Like a normal stances, just the shoulder part, they call haikodachi. It is very important to straight. Sometimes you can practice from haikodachi like that straight, so you can practice straight punches, or straight low blocks, so just the block points. Straight you low block means a sweep, like a sweeping. So make sure the hand chamber pull. Every time you do that, pull. That teaches you make sure a little bit coordination. Same with the middle block, you can come up practice from underarms, straight pull. Straight pull. It's very important. Do slowly to get good at it, you're comfortable, then you can block faster, and every time you do, actually you can practice your breathing with it. Very important. Look, breathe in from your nose, breathe out of your mouth as soon as it comes out like this. Comes out. It is very important. Every time I do breathing, it's very important for organ. Breathing from your nose, breathing out of the mouth from the core. Very important to practice that. Same, that's called low block. This is called middle block. Example, Gidenburai, Ochoke, Jodanoke. Mean low block, middle block, high block. Very important, these three basic blocks in karate works. So now, Jodanoke, from the front comes high block like this, straight goes up. Now, how I know I'm doing good or bad? So what it do, every time you're doing this high block, the fist turn one, the hand chamber sets, look side of your fist, you should be right side of your head, that's mean your block is good. Not this way, not this, not like this, not over here either. Just right center, example, you're making an X, straight goes up, and a high block. That's called Jodanoke, mean block high. It is very important to do. Also, part of these things work called stance work. Stance work is haikodachi, like I explained before. Now, second thing, It's called Zanku Sudachi, mean leaning forward stance. Just very important now. This stance is so important. One thing is like this. So make sure your feet, your front knee always bend. If you're doing a Zanku Sudachi, make sure your upper body straight and your front knee bend. If you look down, if you see your toe, mean your stance is not good. If your knees properly bend, you don't see your toe, mean your stance doing good. Another very important part, you see you losing your balance sometime because the feet too much lining up behind it, not supposed to be. Your feet should be lined up part of the hip. It's like hip section. And every time you're stepping forward, make sure come in, center. Don't do this one. Always you want to work on stance work. Example, come center, go straight out. Go center, go straight back. So that will help you to keeping your upper body balance straight without bouncing. That's not supposed to bouncing. What does this stance practicing mean? You're practicing fakata, mean form. So you're practicing that. Very important. Now, the next stance called shikodachi. In the Goju-Ryu, we do taikokos. So a lot of the stance involved is called shikodachi. Shikodachi is stance. So always your shikodachi stays your upper body straight. Actually, by the way, there's a lot of good exercise for the leg muscles. They make the leg muscles very strong to practice. Now, your shin should be straight, your toe pointing out angle. That's called shikodachi. It's very important. Now again, same thing, similar. If you're stepping forward, you come center, goes out. If you're going back, center, going out. Nothing bouncing like that is very important part. Now, if you bring your toes in, it's just like that, little bit shorter, that's called kibudachi. So mean center. Same thing, you're practicing is very good leg exercises actually you can do. Is make the legs very good strong. And another couple of stances more is called Sanchin Sadachi. So I teach the kids, sometimes the words, they get hard to get confused. I make them understand in English. So make a short stance. So then I explain to them how a short stance works. Actually, between Zanku Sudachi to Shikodachi and a Sanchin Sadachi, one thing is very important. Think about it, is your belt. Your belt or something line. Just put the line straight on the ground. So every time you practice, this is a stance called Sanchin Sadachi. Every time you're doing a stance practice, punching practice, just look, make sure your hand chamber good stance. This is all about learning process. It is a very important part. Good. Another thing is stance practice. Make sure your feet not line up, losing your balance. That means you're not doing stance properly. So what we do, like used to in old school time, we used to put our belt straight to we practice our stances. What did that mean? Every time I do Zanku Sudachi like this practice, so see the line is my center. Every time I step forward, mean my feet comes up, goes up. So that line, make sure is my center. That works with the Shikodachi stance, and that works with the Sanchin Sadachi stance. Same. If I step in, make sure my feet not touch the line. If my feet touch the line or my toe, that means something I'm not doing good. And the other thing is very important, base individual. Some people taller, some people, shorter, middle. So make difference. So make sure do not keep your feet too close. People that Sanchin Sudachi, sometimes they pressure it. You're pushing the joints too much pressure. You don't need to. Just the stance is wider, base individual height. This is very important, these things. So you can be practiced with these stances. Punches, blocks, low blocks, middle block, add in. And another stance called is a Kuku Sudachi. Kuku Sudachi is a mean back stance. So 80% of weight in the back leg, 20% of weight in the front leg. So make sure your front toe always lines up straight in the back. Always your body posture should be straight lining up. It is very important. The reason sometimes we put the hands out because give you nice guiding to straight out your stances. It's very important. And another stance called Nikwa Shidachi, cat stance. Cat stance is made from like a Musubudachi, like that. It's straightforward cat stance. So that means 90% of your weight in the back leg, 10% of your weight is on the front leg. It is very important to do that. Your front feet, what it should be like. Again, it's a cat stance, they call it. So this kind of stances, simple, you can do a lot of practice. Every time you put 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes for practice, make big difference on training. And you learn very well. And remember, all this coordination, basic blocks and stuff, helps a lot with your focusing. So you're blocking yourself from negative energies, negative thoughts, you're practicing the karate.